Hi everyone online, good to be with you. We'll get started in a few minutes. No, we're good. We still have a few minutes.
Wow. Boy. No, it's like Shelly left her phone here and then was homesick.
Is she okay now? Is she okay now?
You know, she sent a thing on Tuesday that said that she was not well. I didn't even see a response from her when I told her to my phone. I said, what would you like me to do with it?
Oh.
She didn't respond back. So.
I didn't see that. Hi everyone, Shabbat Shalom. We'll get started momentarily. So good to see all of you who are online and all of you who are here in person. Oh, it's okay.
There we go. Together as one in love, joy, and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. Kulanu beyachad.
How good it is for us to be together this Shabbat. And after being gone this week, I missed all of you, and it's so lovely to see all of your beautiful faces, whether online or right here in the sanctuary. Harry Golden remarked that he remembered how his father, who was an atheist, went to synagogue every single Friday night. And one day he turned to his dad and said, wait a second. If you don't believe in God, why do you come to temple every single Friday night? And he says, well, people come to temple. That's one answer right there, free food, there you go. But he said people come to temple for lots of different reasons. My friend, Mr. Garfinkel, he goes to temple to talk to God. I go to temple to talk to Mr. Garfinkel. So whether we've come to temple tonight to talk to God, to eat some food afterwards, or to be in community with one another, or for any other reason that our heart has compelled us to be here, I'm so grateful that you are here. We know that there's so many prayers in our tradition that require community. that we don't actually say aloud some of our prayers unless we have at least 10 adults in the room with whom to say those prayers. And this is to teach us the importance of being together, of supporting one another, of hearing the sounds of one another's voices. And tonight we're going to begin our service by lighting these candles together. And I would love to invite up Bonnie Leopold, who is going to light them in honor of her mother who died today years ago.
24 years. Oh, I didn't have to bring my book. Is this on? Oh, my goodness. Should I read first and then do the blessing? Okay. Where's the camera? I want to know what I've been staring at all this time.
You're good. It's got you.
Over there.
I'm feeling like, wow, this is the first time in 2 years I've been in the sanctuary. Blessings for Shabbat. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehalik ner, lahalik ner, shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom.
Yasher Koach, thank you so much, Bonnie, for leading us in prayer and bringing the neshama of your mother in prayer with us tonight. We continue with Kabbalat Shabbat, welcoming in the sacred day through the music of our tradition.
And first, we'll bless this cup of wine as we. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
You snuck that in the service.
No, it was there when you looked at it. Page 123, if you're looking in your Sidurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikraei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים. בים bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam chiri biri biri bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Chiri, biri, biri, bim. Bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Maya Fe Hayom. What makes this day so beautiful? Shabbat Shalom. The peace of Shabbat. Maya Fe Hayom. Maya Fe Hayom. Maya Fe Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Be strong, and we will be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Candles burn in the window every Friday night. Listen close and look within. Be part of our light. We're singing together joyfully, passing love along. Shabbat keeps our family. Week by week, we're growing strong. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Be strong, and we will be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. Chazak, chazak, ונתחזק. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, לקראת כלה, הנה שבת נקבלה, נקבלה. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום ומבורך. שבת שלום, שבת שלום, שבת שלום ומבורך.
And as we've welcomed in this Shabbat day of holiness, and as we've been starting to welcome one another, we take a few moments to turn to our neighbors, our old friends, our new ones, in order to wish one another a Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I invite us to rise in body or in spirit, because as we said earlier in the service, there are some prayers that we need to have community in order to say. And this next prayer, the Baruch Hu, our call to worship, is one of those prayers. And so as the Cantor leads us in the first line, we listen to him say, essentially, hey everyone, are you ready to pray? And then we respond by saying, yes, we're ready for Shabbat.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Ya ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam Asher bidbaro ma'avim aravim Bechokma poteach she'arim. God of creation, who makes the evening fall from light into darkness with the setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars and wrap our souls with peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam Asher bidbaro ma'avim aravim Bechokma poteach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. And light blinded, we saw that inner and outer worlds are one as you are one. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back, and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam.
wish.
Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, when you rise, when you rise.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and on earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faiths are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision for a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, noratei lo, osei pelech, osei pelech, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Continue with these words of Hashkivenu, these words that remind us how God spreads over us God's chupat shalom, God's canopy of peace, sheltering us, guarding us. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. Ha'amidenu shomrenu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros Pros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
And we prepare ourselves to turn to the words in celebration of Shabbat with B'Shamru. Because after we say the prayer of Hashkivenu, we feel the love of community, we feel the promise of this day. And we hope truly that this will be a day of peace and restoration for us all.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אחרים עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אחרים עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
When God finished the world, Midrash says, God asked the angels if there was anything that needed to still be done. Anything that was lacking in land or in sea, in the air or in the heavens. And the angels thought for a moment, and they answered that although everything was perfect, one thing was still actually missing from the earth. Words that praised God. God agreed, and so God created human beings, people. And from this midrash, we learn that God did work to benefit us as human beings. But it's our work to be able to praise God and thank our Creator. We turn to the Amidah on page 164 in our book or on the screen behind me, and I invite you to rise in body or in spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ולפי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ולפי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please continue with the meditations and prayers of your heart.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, כי אתה הוא מלך הדון, לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
So on this first Friday of the month, we have something that we've been calling, at least lately, we've been calling Story Shabbat. And since this happens to be the first day of April, it felt appropriate to bring in some tales from some of the wisest people, or perhaps the most foolish people around. In other words, stories from a small town called Chelm. So if you haven't heard of the stories of Chelm, let me just give you a small taste. There is a story about two sages who went out for a walk when suddenly it began to rain. Now the man who didn't have the umbrella urged the one with the umbrella to take it out and open it up so they could stay dry. The man with the umbrella said, no, it won't help. The man said, of course it'll help. You open the umbrella, we'll be able to stay dry. It'll shield us from the rain. And the man says, but it's full of holes. It's not going to do anything. So the man says, then why did you bring the umbrella with you? And the first man says, well, I didn't think it would rain. There's another story. They're great, aren't they? Of two sages who were involved in a deep philosophical argument. One says, since you are so wise, try to answer this one. How come every time you butter bread, if you drop it, it always lands on the butter side? So the man that he spoke to, he gets up, he takes a piece of bread, he puts some butter on it, and he drops it on the floor, and it doesn't land on the side with butter, and he says, ha, see, what you said isn't true. And the man said, oh, you think you're so smart. You buttered the wrong side of the bread. These stories from Chelm, they make us laugh because of their ridiculousness. I need to add just one more story, actually, because I fell down a rabbit hole with Chelm stories today, and it was delightful. I encourage you all to do the same. But the last story has to do with snow. And it snowed in Chelm. Snow started to come down from the sky, and the people of Chelm, oh, how they loved the snow. They wanted to have a beautiful, pristine blanket of snow over everything when they woke up in the morning. So they said, how are we going to do it? How are we going to convince no one to go outside so that we can have this beautiful white sheet of snow. And they said, aha, I know what to do. We'll get a boy from the village to go to each and every house and let them know not to go outside so that the snow can stay pristine. Another man said, oh, that's a great idea. I love it, but there's just one small problem. Won't the boy make tracks in the snow, right? Said, aha, I've got a solution for that. We'll put the boy on a table, and we'll ask 4 people to hold the table and bring it from place to place. And so that's exactly what they did. The boy stood on a table and was brought to house, all throughout the entire village to make sure that he told everyone not to go outside, because if they went outside, the snow wouldn't be perfect. So when they woke up in the morning, they were completely in shock, beside themselves, that the snow had all of these tracks in it from people's feet. How could this possibly be? And then they realized that the 4 men holding the table had made all of these tracks. And they said, aha, we know what to do the next time. The next time we'll put the boy on the table, we'll have the 4 men hold the table, but we'll have 4 others hold them so that they won't make tracks. Now, the people of Ham, these stories are so beautiful and such a wonderful part of our tradition, and it feels really fitting, by the way, that we are ending the month of Adar, this month of hilarity, actually 2 months of hilarity, because we've had 2 months of Adar this year, on April Fool's. It feels perfect, absolutely perfect. Rabbi Seymour Russell explains that people ask one of 2 questions about Ham. They ask either, how did these people become so foolish, or how did these people become so wise? And perhaps there's a combination therein. He notes that once upon a time, there's a story that God was concerned that there were too many wise people in some places and too many foolish people in other places. So what did he do? He assigned an angel to bring some of the foolish people to heaven so that he'd be able to distribute them more evenly throughout the earth, except the angel had a little bit of a problem. Was holding too many souls that were foolish when a big gust of wind came and they all fell at the foot of Ham. And when this angel dropped them there, she looked down and realized she couldn't tell the difference between people who were foolish and the people who were wise, and in fact, no one else could either. So the people of Ham, they felt that they truly were wise, and because they were wise, then every person that they looked at must be wise as well. And if anyone from the outside ever told them that something they were doing was foolish, well, that's because they simply weren't wise enough to understand. And yet, the people of Ham truly do have some wisdom. They have something to teach us. They have some lessons. That perhaps that which is foolish and that which is wise sometimes do turn over and get all topsy-turvy. Our Ham stories leave us with 2 pieces of sage wisdom, I believe. One is to never hesitate to think outside the box, and the other is to never stop searching for solutions and believing that they're there even when they seem improbable. And if we can do these things and continue to laugh and bring the joy of this month of Adar with us even into the next one, then perhaps the days ahead will be filled with possibilities with which we may not otherwise have imagined. So it feels fitting right now to say our blessings for Rosh Chodesh, because tonight we are actually beginning this new month of Nisan, this new month in which we will celebrate the exodus of our people with the celebration of Passover. I'm going to get the prayer. I can't read this little thing on my computer screen. Give me 1 second. That's where the pen was. It's all good. I'm on page 519 for anyone who wants to follow in their books. We need some laughter. It's all good. The world always can use a little bit more laughter. So let us prepare ourselves to begin this new month of hopefully beautiful possibilities. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu shitchadesh aleinu et hachodesh hazeh l'tova v'livracha Titen lanu chayim aruchim, chayim shel shalom, chayim shel parnasah, chayim shetevanu, ahavat Torah v'yirat shamayim, chayim shemalanu mishalot, libenu latova. Amen.
Amen.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, and prosperity. A life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Hu Hayom. The new month of Nisan begins today. We also turn to prayers of healing. Prayers of healing, healing of mind, healing of body, and healing of spirit. And if you have anyone for whom you'd like to offer these prayers, I invite you to write the names of those individuals into the chat, or say aloud anyone for whom you'd like to offer the Mishaberach as my eyes go around the room. Melissa Polk, Rebecca Rothstein, everyone whose names are written into the chat, who we hold so lovingly in our hearts. Mekor habracha lehimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, in addition to this prayer for healing for people who have more acute health needs, we also offer this new prayer, this new liturgy for those who endure chronic conditions. God of our mothers and fathers, watch over all who live with genetic disorders, life-threatening medical conditions, and chronic or degenerative diseases. Bless them with endurance and resilience, fortitude and hope, with opportunities to thrive and shine even as their conditions progress. Watch over them, their families and friends, our community, and all of humankind. We pray for the wisdom and insight to see each member of our community with clear eyes and an open heart, as another human being, a whole person with hopes and dreams, proud of who they are, striving to be their best selves, struggling with this life and loving it too, as we all do. Rock and shelter, grant us all the ability to see each other's humanity clearly, to cherish each other's individuality, to care deeply about one another, to mourn our losses and celebrate our victories together, so that we live, act, and pray as one community of care and blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who strengthens our steps. We turn to our Aleinu prayer. I invite you to rise. It's also on page 586 in your Siddur. Rise in body or in spirit.
It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. V'anachnu koreim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
You may be seated. On page 592, when I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, then at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So that when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Today, we are mourning the loss of people who have died in recent weeks. Marina Gurwitch, Tanya Zimmerman's mother, and Rami Temkin, Marla Schwartz's aunt. We're also observing yard sites for Isidore Almas, Rebecca Blafkin-Reedy, Arthur Berman, Abraham Beyer, Sarah Casper, Victor Cohn, William Demoff, Beverly Deutsch, William Eisenberg, Harry Finmark, Lee Gardenswartz, Eugenia Geller, Samson Ginsburg, Harris Greenberg, Martin Jake Gubiner, Joseph Hirsch, Hyman Jakowitz, Sylvia Kaplan, Dennis Kostek, Archie Kramer, Dave Kramer, Luke Kramer, Jacob Kruger, Joe LaBarbera, Morton Lieberman, Leah Manuel, William Robert Monshine, David Austin Moore, Nathan Arsharenko, Meyer Schaefer, Dora Schwartz, Louis Scharf, Hyman Siegel, Robert Sloves, Anna Snegg, Maureen Tyson, Paul Wachs, Helen Wilson, Robert Wright, Janina Zielinski, and Jeff Frankel. Asher Ben Benjamin Venora. In the memory of all of these people and so many others, I invite us to rise as a community to offer the Kaddish on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'amad yivrach cherotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomachon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram ve'oma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Zichronam livracha. May all of their memories be a blessing. And together we say, amen.
Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I invite you to be seated for just one more minute as we hear a few announcements. And I want to thank Barbara for being our loving greeter tonight. Thank you so much. And I want to invite up Marla, one of our wonderful temple presidents, to offer a few announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi Cassi. Thank you, Cantor, Ilan. You make our Shabbat experience very, very special. Shabbat shalom, everybody here in front of me and everybody online, wherever you are. I'm honored to represent your Temple Beth Board of Directors. Here are several announcements and things of interest to you, I think, to make your Shabbat even more personal, even more meaningful, and an opportunity to still continue to be with community. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., Cantor Ilan will have his breakfast and story time on Zoom, partnering with our friends from PJ Library. Tomorrow then, an hour later at 10 a.m., please join Cantor Ilan for our monthly virtual healing service. Then at 5 p.m. tomorrow, please join Pam Tarlow for a half hour of soothing meditation practice on Zoom. This Sunday at 4 p.m., please join us virtually for the Artist Beit Midrash art exhibition called Redeem, Rethink. You will be able to meet our Temple Bethel artists and see all the incredible pieces that they have created for this art show. Their art will be displayed in our social hall until May 1st. Also this Sunday, we are pleased to announce the San Pedro Faith Consortium Ukraine Benefit Dinner at St. Peter's Episcopal Church in San Pedro. The benefit is from 5 to 7 p.m., and they are still very much in need of volunteers to help with this worthwhile cause. If you're able to volunteer, please let Rabbi Cassi know as soon as you can. Reservations are now open for our in-person community Passover Seder on Friday, April 15th at 5:30. It's $40 for adults and $20 for children ages 5 through 12. Please RSVP to Shoni in the finance office. On Sunday, April 24th at 1 p.m., please reserve your place at our Sisterhood Game Day hosted at the home of Linda Belzer. All ages are welcome to participate in a variety of games, from mahjong to Scrabble to ping pong, or bring your favorite game to the party. A percentage of the proceeds will go to the Women of Reformed Judaism's Yes Fund. $25 per adult, $15 per adult under 18, or a maximum of $50 per family. RSVP by April 17th to Sisterhood President Linda Belzer. And as an aside, what I learned from this experience, it's an opportunity to help with scholarship money for those women who would like to, or who are in a rabbinic program, would like to continue their studies. So it's so very worthwhile. Sometimes it's nice if you just want to make a donation, even though you might not want to play games or whatever, but it's a really good, smart thing. We can see the evidence standing right behind me on this bima of a woman who chose the rabbinic field and share her rabbinic life with us. Please send in your reservations now for our big celebratory weekend, May 19th through the 22nd, honoring Rabbi Cassi's installation and Temple Bethel's 100th anniversary. The weekend's activities will include a paint and pour event, Shabbat installation service, Shabbat morning study and nosh, celebration dinner and comedy show, and children's programming. We will welcome renowned artist Mordecai Rosenstein, who will have an art show on display, and he will be presenting a brand new piece that he is creating in honor of Temple Bethel's 100th anniversary. We also will welcome the hilarious improv comedy troupe called The Bible Players. The full schedule of events are listed in your Tuesday news email with pricing and information. All payments can be made to Shoni in the finance office. And one last announcement, well, two. Please join us now in the social hall immediately following services for some challah and coffee for a little oneg. What's real important is that everybody pitch in at the end, or once you're about to leave, and sort of, I think the term is, bust your own table, clear off, if you will. It would be really helpful, and I think they're all paper products, so you're okay. You won't break anything. Just take all that stuff and put it in the trash barrels that are around. And then also, I just want to say, if there's anybody who would like to make purchases in the gift shop, I'll go in and open it up and sell for you, okay? Everything's 50% off, so that might encourage you to do that. And if nobody comes in, that's okay, because then I'll go meet you and eat challah and schmooze, which is what we like to do. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you so much, Marla. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Everyone who is online, wonderful. I'm getting chats that people will volunteer. I love that. I will be in touch. But thank you so much, everyone who's online. Please hang around to go into virtual oneg rooms to be with one another. And everyone here, go Nash. Have a good time. Shabbat shalom
Shabbat
to all of you.
shalom.